The FBI has files on rock stars, not just surveillance reports. Actual investigations into songs they consider dangerous enough
Let me kick out the can. Yeah, kick out the can.
to threaten national security. From anti-war anthems that sparked riots to lyrics so explicit they triggered federal obscenity cases. These tracks didn't just push boundaries, they crossed lines the government couldn't ignore. Today, we're counting down 7 rock songs that made the FBI's hit list.
Don't you understand what I'm trying to say?
And don't miss our bonus track, a performance so wild, the FBI couldn't look away. Number 7. A 3-chord garage rock song so simple, a teenager could learn it in 5 minutes. The kind of track that should have been forgotten after a few weeks of local radio. Instead, it triggered a 31-month FBI investigation, costing taxpayers thousands of dollars. The Kingsmen, Louie, 1963. The Kingsmen's version became the target of the most ridiculous federal investigation in rock history. Parents across America were convinced lead singer Jack Ely was slurring obscenities instead of the innocent Caribbean tale Richard Berry had written years earlier. The slurred vocals, caused by Ely singing with braces while standing on his tiptoes to reach a suspended microphone, created what sounded like dirty words to paranoid ears. FBI agents spent over 2 years analyzing the recording at various speeds, consulting audio experts and interviewing band members. They examined the lyrics under microscopes, played the track backwards, and even brought in linguists. The Bureau's final report concluded the song was unintelligible at any speed, but found no evidence of obscenity. The investigation revealed more about American paranoia than rock music. While agents wasted time chasing phantom profanity, the song climbed to number 2 on the Billboard charts. The FBI's obsession established a template for future investigations. Any song with unclear lyrics could trigger federal scrutiny. Number 6. Here was a folk singer so committed to anti-war activism that FBI agents considered him one of the most dangerous musicians in America. His direct challenge to military authority encouraged draft resistance and made him a prime target for federal surveillance. Phil Ochs, I Ain't Marching Anymore, 1965.
But I ain't marching anymore.
Ochs' explicit refusal to participate in warfare made him a prime target for federal surveillance. The song's message, a soldier's refusal to fight, was seen as potentially treasonous by federal investigators. Federal agents documented Ochs' performances at anti-war rallies, noting how the track ignited crowds and encouraged draft resistance.
I heard many men lying, I saw many more dying, but
The FBI's files on Ochs eventually grew to over 400 pages, with this song cited repeatedly as evidence of his subversive activities. Radio stations faced pressure to avoid playing the song, with many programmers receiving guidance from federal officials about its potentially seditious content. The song's influence on the draft resistance movement worried federal investigators, with FBI reports documenting cases where young men cited it as inspiration for refusing military service. Ochs' tragic decline and eventual suicide in 1976 ended the FBI's active surveillance, demonstrating the real cost of federal intimidation.
I stole California from the Mexican land, fought in the bloody.
Number 5. Dark humor, wrapped in a cheerful melody, made this anti-war anthem so effective that federal agents worried it could single-handedly undermine military recruitment efforts. The Berkeley-based group's satirical approach to protesting Vietnam confused FBI investigators who couldn't decide whether to treat it as comedy or sedition. Country Joe and the Fish, I Feel Like I'm Fixin' to Die, Rag, 1967.
Now come on, generals, let's move fast. Your big chance is here at last. Now you can go out.
Country Joe McDonald's satirical anti-war anthem became one of the most investigated songs of the 1960s. The track's famous F-U-C-K cheer, performed at Woodstock and countless other venues, violated obscenity laws while delivering its anti-war message. FBI files document agents attending performances, noting crowd reactions to both the profanity and political content.
Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. The next stop is Vietnam.
Federal investigators struggled with the song's satirical approach, unsure whether to treat it as comedy or sedition. Radio stations faced impossible choices: play the song and risk federal prosecution for obscenity, or censor it and face accusations of suppressing free speech. Most opted for heavily edited versions that removed both the profanity and much of the song's content. The song's adoption by anti-war protesters made it a soundtrack for the peace movement, with its effectiveness in energizing crowds making it particularly dangerous in federal eyes.
Well, there ain't no time to wonder why. Woo-hoo, all gone.
Number 4. Motor City revolutionaries with connections to radical political groups made FBI agents consider them a national security threat equal to political terrorists. Their explosive anthem violated broadcast standards while serving as a rallying cry for revolution, making them impossible to ignore. MC5, Kick Out the Jams, 1969.
Let me kick out the jam. Yeah, kick out the jam.
MC5's track attracted federal attention, not just for its profanity, but for the band's connections to radical political groups. The song's opening declaration, Kick Out the Jam, violated broadcast standards while serving as a rallying cry for revolution. The band's association with the White Panther Party made them a prime target for FBI surveillance.
Gotta have it there and do it when you get the feeling.
Federal agents documented their performances, noting how the song energized crowds and encouraged anti-establishment sentiment. The track's raw energy and explicit language made it impossible to play on mainstream radio, but underground FM stations embraced it as an anthem of rebellion. FBI files reveal extensive monitoring of MC5's activities, with agents viewing the band as dangerous political agitators, using music to spread revolutionary ideology. The investigation contributed to the band's commercial struggles, as record labels faced pressure to drop acts associated with radical politics. Number 3. San Francisco's psychedelic pioneers had the audacity to include the phrase, "Up against the wall, motherfucker," in a song released by a major record label. Their female vocalist delivered revolutionary rhetoric with defiant power that made federal agents monitor their performances closely. Jefferson Airplane, Volunteers, 1969. Jefferson Airplane's track captured the height of 1960s musical rebellion, and its explicit call to revolution drew FBI attention. The song's most provocative line echoed the militant language circulating in radical movements of the time, bringing street-level defiance into mainstream rock. FBI agents monitored performances where the song was played, documenting how crowds responded to its revolutionary message.
America, volunteers of America, volunteers of America.
The song's explicit language violated broadcast standards, but its political message posed an even greater concern for authorities monitoring the counterculture movement. The FBI closely watched Jefferson Airplane's activities, especially their performances at anti-war rallies where volunteers fueled crowds with its militant lyrics. Grace Slick's powerful delivery of the revolutionary message embodied everything federal monitors feared about music's power to radicalize young Americans. Number 2. A California folk rock singer's apocalyptic protest song struck such a nerve in 1965 that it drew the attention of federal authorities. Its blunt warnings about war, racial tension, and social unrest worried officials who feared it could discourage young Americans during a time of military escalation. The track even hit #1 on the Billboard charts, prompting FBI notes about its influence on public opinion at the height of the Vietnam conflict. Barry Maguire, Eve of Destruction, 1965.
Don't you understand what I'm trying to say? Can't you feel the fear?
Maguire's apocalyptic protest song triggered immediate FBI investigation when it hit #1 on the Billboard charts. The track's graphic descriptions of war, racial tension, and social upheaval made federal agents worry about its impact on American morale during wartime. FBI files document agents monitoring radio stations that played the song, building cases for potential violations of wartime broadcasting guidelines. The song's success, reaching the top of the charts despite its controversial content, demonstrated rock music's power to spread anti-war sentiment to mainstream audiences. The investigation revealed federal concerns about popular music's influence on public opinion about Vietnam. Agents noted how the song fired up anti-war protesters while potentially discouraging military enlistment. Maguire's hit became a symbol of how a single song could trigger extensive federal scrutiny.
I'm trying to say, can't you feel the fears I'm feeling today?
#1. From lovable mop top to anti-war activist, one former Beatles transformation made him a prime target for federal surveillance. His phone was tapped, his concerts infiltrated by undercover operatives, and a simple song recorded during a publicity stunt became the unofficial anthem of the peace movement. John Lennon, Give Peace a Chance, 1969.
Give peace a chance.
Lennon's evolution from pop star to political activist made him dangerous in government eyes. The song, recorded during his famous bed-in with Yoko Ono, seemed harmless enough, repeated calls for peace over a basic acoustic arrangement. But its adoption by anti-Vietnam War protesters made it a federal concern. FBI files reveal agents attended rallies where the song was sung, documenting who performed it and how crowds responded. Lennon's FBI file eventually grew to 281 pages, with this track mentioned repeatedly as evidence of his subversive influence. Agents noted how the song unified protesters, creating what they termed mass psychological manipulation through music. The investigation intensified when Lennon moved to New York in 1971. Immigration officials working with the FBI attempted to deport him based partly on his anti-war activities and songs like this one. The legal battle lasted 4 years, during which Lennon's every public appearance was monitored. A song advocating for peace had triggered a government war against its creator. Bonus. What happens when America's most sacred anthem is transformed into a visceral, feedback-drenched performance? Hendrix's legendary Woodstock set drew the attention of federal observers concerned about the influence of music on anti-war sentiment. Jimi Hendrix, Star-Spangled Banner, 1969. Hendrix's rendition at Woodstock used distortion, feedback, and wah-wah effects to evoke bombs, sirens, and machine gun fire, creating a powerful sonic statement on the chaos of war. While no FBI investigation directly targeted the performance, agents monitored the reaction to it, especially among anti-war activists who embraced the rendition as a soundtrack for protest. The performance became emblematic of how rock music could provoke strong reactions and challenge conventional patriotic norms, illustrating the power of musical expression to reflect, and sometimes influence, social and political unrest. So there you have it, the songs that proved rock music could be dangerous enough to trigger federal investigations. Which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments, and remember to subscribe for more stories about music that changed the world.